Back for your Friday morning.
Levy County residents say an illegal dumping problem is getting out of hand. That's our top story for Thursday, April 6th. I'm Sarah Girard.
And I'm Evan Moon. Thanks for joining us.
A year ago, WUFT News first called attention to the problem on the trails of the Williston Highlands neighborhood. Cat litter around in this weather, considering there was all that severe weather earlier in the week.
Yeah, and today was cool, breezy, and free of downpours. UF forecaster Brian Boggiano joins us now from the Weather Center to tell us when the wind will die down and how cool it'll get. Brian?
Well, we are.
Thank you, Brian. A University of Florida student is one of only 3 2017 Rolex scholars in the world. Leah Potts is a senior engineering major and avid scuba diver. The scholarship will allow her to visit institutions and conferences to further combine her interest in water with her engineering background. She will receive the prize in New York later this month. Potts won the candidates in North America. The other 2 were winners selected from European and Australian applicants. Although north central Florida received a lot of rain over the past few days, water levels in lakes and rivers are still a major problem. FWC has been planning to close Eagle and Lang Lakes in Hamilton County in coming weeks due to low water levels. Hamilton and many surrounding counties are classified in severe droughts. Both lakes have been so low, boats are getting stuck, and biologists say fishing the shallow areas will cause too much disturbance to the vegetation.
Absolutely, everywhere.
Really?
It's been terrible. As a matter of fact, many of the ponds that I have fished have no water in them at all.
After the recent spike in rainfall, FWC will meet with biologists on Monday to see if the April 14th closure is still necessary. Thank you, Jake. And news around the state, 8 Jacksonville families are without a home tonight after an apartment complex fire. Firefighters arrived at the Carolyn Square apartments around 5:30 this morning. The fire destroyed 4 units and damaged at least 12 more. No injuries were reported. Officials are still investigating the cause and are looking into whether a lightning strike could have caused it. And that's not the only fire Jacksonville Fire Rescue had to respond to today. This morning, a house fire that officials say was caused by lightning gutted the roof of a family's home. One person was home and she was scared but not injured. In Hernando County, a middle school teacher is fired after a controversial assignment. The worksheet titled "How Comfortable Am I?" had 41 questions that challenged 8th graders to consider situations some parents thought were too loaded. The questions included racial and religious issues. For example, what if your family moved to a predominantly black neighborhood? Some parents felt that opinions on very sensitive matters, opinions you might not want to reveal to classmates, should be left to discussions at home, not school.
I just think that sometimes kids are just too young to start that at this age, and in school it should be something that should be at home.
A representative for the Hernando County School District said the assignment was left for students to complete in the teacher's absence from class. School administration began an investigation after being made aware of the assignment. And a college student in South Florida went home to her dorm to find an alarming surprise: a 3-foot-long dead alligator lying on her bed. FWC investigated the incident and say 4 students found the alligator dead as roadkill and took it to the dorm. Many students were upset to see students harm the school's reputation for being environmentally friendly, while others saw it as a funny prank. And still to come, a historic change in U.S. Senate rules. We'll have updates after the break on the fight for the Supreme Court Justice nominee.
And moving on to health and medical news, a common type of EpiPen used for allergies has been recalled.
WUFT's Meredith Sheldon is here to tell us more.
That's right, ladies. I'm going to tell you all about a type of EpiPen you definitely don't want to be using.
Thank you, Meredith. So Brian was telling us we're going to get a break from these summer-like temperatures this weekend.
Right, and he also says that heat is going to be back very soon. But before we turn back to Brian, let's take a look outside. Let's take a look outside. We're hopefully going to look out at Century Tower. I'm sure we have a live shot camera out there right now. Oh, there it is. Thank you. So you saw that bus go by. It looks like there's a lot of... Thank you, Brian. It's definitely not fall, but there's football this weekend.
The Florida Gators will show out in the annual Orange and Blue debut tomorrow night.
That's right. Actually, yesterday we got to catch
Thank you, Brian. BBC World News is up next, and the PBS NewsHour is coming up at 7 o'clock.
WUFT News returns tomorrow at 5, but your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org. Have a good night.